Hello.
Welcome to your channel, or welcome back to your channel. I'm Brittany.
I'm Jason.
And
Groot is over there sleeping.
Yes, Groot is over there sleeping. I know he's always in every intro. We make a bunch of travel, Disney, lifestyle videos here. So if you like any of that, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single fun upload. Today, we are doing part 2 of our wedding series, I guess. Today we're talking about the wedding day and all of our funny stories from that. So if you missed part 1, which is our wedding planning video, I'll link it up in the card so you can go check out that before you watch this one. Or after, whichever you prefer. But today we're going to talk about funny stories and things that happened on our wedding day. So I guess we should start technically the night before.
Yeah,
with our
which was
rehearsal
our
dinner.
rehearsal.
So we live about an hour and a half away from where we got married at. And so we all went down there, us, our wedding party, my parents, everything like that, went down there the night before, did our whole rehearsal, and then we went out and had a nice dinner. And then we paid for hotel rooms for our wedding party.
Yep.
To stay in, so we were like 5 minutes away from the venue. But we both agreed, like I mentioned in part 1, we did not do a first look. We did not want to see each other on our wedding day until we walked down the aisle. So we had 2 separate rooms, and we ended up doing this really emotional goodbye in the hallway because we lived together, and so we didn't really sleep apart. So we did a little emotional goodbye, knowing that like the next time we saw each other, we were going to be getting married.
It was weird.
I know. And then after that, our friends were like, we want to play Cards Against Humanity together.
Yeah, so then we
saw each other anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, the boys came over to the girls' room, and us and our wedding party all played Cards Against Humanity.
Which was real fun.
Up until basically midnight, and he left right before midnight. And it was so fun. I'm so happy we got to do that. It was just like cool to have all the people we love like in one room and just kind of hanging out. So then the next morning, us girls had to be at the venue, I think at 10.
Yeah, they left real early.
Yeah, we went to Target and got some food, and then for like breakfast.
Which was real funny. They go to Target, they get some food, and they like go straight to the venue.
Start unloading everything.
And we're lazy men, and we get up, we're still tired, shower, and then we're like, you know what, we're hungry. And we go and sit down and eat breakfast.
Where'd you guys go?
IHOP or Denny's. It was one of the two, but we actually sat down and ate breakfast.
Yeah, we got like bagels. And
yeah, they got bagels, and they were like, let's go,
and
let's go.
We started getting ready.
And her dad, well, I think you called me first.
No.
No one called me. But they called your dad, and I think it was like twice, and then your dad finally answered. Or it was once, and then he answered. But I think there was one missed call, and then he ended up calling back, and they were like, where are you? You're supposed to be at the venue. And they were like, we still have like 3-4 hours. We're eating breakfast.
Okay, so just a little bit of backstory. So we could get to the venue, I think it was at 10. We're just going to say 10. And then they could get there at noon to start setting up. So we get there at 10 to start getting ready, and everyone else could show up at noon to start setting everything up. Well, we got there at 10, probably a little bit earlier than 10 actually. And our wedding coordinator at the venue was like, oh yeah, you guys can start setting up whenever, like everything's done for you guys.
That's what they want to start setting up.
And so yeah, we're like, okay, let's
right
go.
Away.
Like everyone was so stressed about time. And then
except for us boys.
I know.
Us boys were like, we have plenty of time till the wedding. We'll be fine.
And then, so we had gotten, if you watched part 1, we did not hire a DJ. We had bought in this like sound system, and I did the entire playlist and everything. Well, we get there to try out, the speaker works, but the microphone does not. And we try everything to get this microphone to work. And so my mom calls my dad and is like, we need to get batteries for this. Like maybe the batteries are bad. And so they went, and I think you guys stopped into that before you came to the venue. And he grabbed a couple
yeah, because we were in the same
needed.
parking lot as Walmart.
And then we needed a couple other things, I think. So
yeah, we needed batteries and like a couple other things.
So they did that. And so then we started getting ready. And the venue very nicely brought us pastries and everything. So we started getting ready. I did hire somebody to do my hair and makeup. I am pretty good at doing hair and makeup, but I didn't want to stress about it on my wedding day. And it was kind of nice to get pampered. So we got all of our makeup done and our hair done, which does take a little bit of time. And so we started doing that. We just hung out. I am very thankful for my family and friends because, no, to anybody who's ever in somebody's wedding, I didn't do anything the day of my wedding. I sat in our bridal suite and I ate.
She was fine. She was all happy. And then I'm the one over here stress out, like
Everyone was asking you all the questions. But
everyone was
my
asking me,
maid
and I'm like,
of honor,
I don't
my
know.
mom, like all my bridesmaids, like everybody, him, all of his groomsmen, like they set everything up. They did our center because I didn't hire anyone to do our centerpieces, so they decorated our centerpieces.
Yeah, we did the centerpieces.
all
We
of
did
our
every table.
decorations, like
we did
the arch.
yeah, that thing. We had to set that up, which that was fun. And then, which was real cool, which I like enjoyed this part like the most, was the owner of Schnepp's Farm. She ended up coming and stopping by because they usually stop by. At least one of them, one of the owners usually stops by before weddings or whatever. I forgot you didn't see any of this. And she came by and she was basically just wanted to check in and be like, oh, hey, how's everything going? And we're like, good. And she basically took me and my friends, she ended up taking us to like this room or whatever, and we're like, okay, what's this? And then she opens up this door, and I mean, there is wedding stuff everywhere in this room. And she was like, oh yeah, have fun, just go at it, use whatever you need. And I mean, we actually did use quite a bit of the stuff in there, and we made this like little, I think it was where they were actually signing everything. But we made this like a little table like setup thing basically, and which was real nice. And well, Renee, our wedding coordinator, Bree, our wedding coordinator from Schnepp's Farm, comes over and she was like, who let you into this room? Because technically you have to pay to use like all their sort of stuff. And we're like, the owner let us into this room? And she was like, oh, okay, have fun, go at it. And so we're like, okay, we don't want to get in trouble. So then we started going and we started getting more stuff. So that was one of the funny things about that, because we thought we were in trouble and we were like, oh, no, the owner said we could get in there. And then she was like, oh, that's fine, just go at it. And so we kept using the stuff out of there. But yeah, that was real fun from the wedding. That was a funny story from it.
And then going back to the whole speaker thing, so the batteries didn't change anything. I don't know what was wrong with it, but the microphone.
Yeah, what did we end up using?
They ended up coming and like fixing it somehow with their microphone, and they definitely took care of the whole situation. They were great. And so essentially they set everything up for me. And the one thing I did say though is I was like, I want to see the venue, like see everything decorated before I walk down the aisle. Because the way that the venue is set up is you have to kind of walk through the reception area to get to the ceremony area. I didn't want to be seeing everything for the first time walking down the aisle pretty much. So they hid him away and I got to go look at everything and I loved it. It was beautiful. It was like beyond my dreams, honestly. It was beautiful. And so, yeah, so then, is that all funny stories beforehand, I think?
Actually, when they let her out to go walk around and everything. Wait, no, not when you were out walking around. It was when
I did my first look with my dad.
It was her first look with her dad. So, my groomsmen are literally like fighting to keep me away from this window. And especially her brother, it was just the funniest thing because I'm not even by the window, and Tyler was like, no, you have to stay back, you're not allowed to look at her. And then they were like, okay, but we're gonna look. And so they like peeked around and they saw her, and it was Logan, and I still remember this. It was the funniest thing. He's just like, oh my god. He was like, wow, she just looks beautiful. And all of this, and basically it was like, yeah, Jason, it's gonna be hard for you not to cry. And they just like kept cracking jokes about it, and it was like the funniest thing. And I'm like, oh,
had you already cried at that point though?
I was already crying at that point.
I think you were like the whole day. Because I remember my dad said that. My dad was like,
oh yeah,
trying to keep Jason together.
I was a ball. I was crying the entire time, and her dad just kept coming in. And then so he finally came in and was like, you guys need to try to keep him from not crying. And because I was just a mess that whole day. It was just emotions. I was just super happy. I just wanted to see her, and like everything was just like going really good, and it was all just like amazing. And so it was all excitement, but I mean, there's just something about being on your wedding day that you just have a lot of emotion going through. I don't think anyone's really going to understand it unless you've been married, but like there's just a lot of joy and a lot of happiness that's going through it. And like you're with everyone you love.
That's what I was gonna say. It's not even just because like the two of us. It's just like having everyone you love like in one place, like there for you. It's like an overwhelming.
And cracking jokes and just like having fun, and it's like all there for you. So it's, I don't know. It it was a lot of fun, especially having all my friends there. But when it was like time for the wedding, which yes, I'm skipping some of the things. There's probably other funny things, but I'm skipping the things. But it was right before we were getting ready to walk out, and I am panicking. I am just pacing back and forth in the room, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. It's like time. I'm almost time. And then they're just like, oh, it's okay. Just calm down, breathe, and like all this. And then it went silent. And so I'm like finally starting to calm down. And then Logan had to like look at his watch or look at his phone, and he was like, oh my God. And I'm like, what? And he was like, dude, in 5 minutes, you're going to be married. And so then I start panicking again. My brother and her brother are literally just like, great, thanks, Logan. Now you're making him freak out again. And so I'm just like losing it again. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's almost time. It's literally time. I'm getting ready to get married. And so that was real funny. It was just real fun that entire day. But I will say one little hiccup, which was crazy, was on my groomsmen, on Logan. They left a little security lock device on his pant leg. So that was interesting, trying to find tools to break that off and get that all off and make sure we didn't get any of the ink everywhere. So that took like a good 30 to 40 minutes, and we were just running around crazy, and we're like, don't tell Brittany, whatever you do, don't tell Brittany. We can't let her know what's going on.
And everything that did go wrong, I will say, no one told me until after there was a solution. Like, I remember my mom came in and I was like, so Logan's pants had the security tag, and I'm like, what? And she's like, but it's okay, we fixed it. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And
Well, see, and at first we were like, ran out into the parking lot too, and we were trying to find tools in like people's cars and stuff. And we're like, we can't let any of the girls know. We can't let any of the girls know. And then we see her mom come out, and we're like, and her mom was like, hey, what's going on? We're like, oh, nothing. Everything's going good. We're okay. And then her brother was like, oh, Logan has the security device stuck on his pant leg. We're like, dude, we're not supposed to say anything to him. Oh, my bad. And then her mom starts panicking and like, oh, we need to get this off. And we're like, whatever you do, don't tell Brittany. Why we gotta tell Brittany? I'm like, no, wait. And so we were trying to make it real to where she wasn't like freaking out over anything, because we didn't want her panicking over anything. But she really didn't panic over anything.
I was totally,
yeah, she was fine.
Ate pastries in the room. It was great.
Yeah.
But I will say, so you talked about before walking down the aisle.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, we were all in my room waiting, and that's when I got nervous. I got all these butterflies, like.
I feel like that was like
shaking.
where it became like real.
And so my bridesmaids were like, it's okay, like, you'll be fine. And my maid of honor, love her to death, she's like, you need a drink. And so again, I think we mentioned the first one, we were not 21, but we did have one bottle of champagne to share between the 5 of us. And that was it. Beer. And we're all of age now. We had already toasted with the champagne for pictures, but like the getting ready pictures. And so we passed this bottle of champagne around my whole circle of bridesmaids, and each take a drink, and then I finished the bottle, and then right after that it was like time to get married. And it was like such a funny like little moment from that day, but like what had such significance to me. And I always remember that, and it was just so funny. And like literally right after that it was like, so get married, like let's just go do this. So one funny thing about that, our flower girl fell asleep, so she did not walk down the aisle with the petals. She fell asleep.
In your mom's arms, right?
Yeah. And then if you watched our first video, we talked about having a sand unity ceremony. And we did that during our ceremony. Well, the issue is, if you saw it, it's in the first video, it's like this little heart vase. It has a very tiny hole. And we had put a, what is it called? Like a funnel in to like be able to make the sand into the actual vase. But Jason takes his and literally just like dumps it into the vase, and it just like stops running. Like it's just like slowly trickling.
It's just like trickling
down.
Like, oh,
like,
we're funnel.
We're gonna be here for like an hour, and it was so funny. Everyone
so then we
laughed.
got another one, I think.
No, I think we just kind of made it work. We're like, we just filled it up halfway, and we're like, we'll finish it later.
Yeah.
So it took a while. But we all laughed. I think we just made jokes about it. We're like, we're gonna be here for a while. Like, sorry.
Going back to Rosalie falling asleep, it was funny because it was right after the story I just told you of Logan saying, oh my gosh, 5 minutes before you get married. It was like right after that, we hear a knock on the door, and we're like, oh, it's time. And we thought it was Bree, and then we just see her mom holding Rosalie like she's dead. And she's just like all like sprawled out. And we're like, oh, what happened? She fall asleep? Yep. And we're like, okay, no big deal. But it was just funny because her mom's just like, I don't know what to do.
So then we got married, and then we went and took pictures, which was super fun. The pictures, we took pictures with our family, then we took pictures with our wedding party. And taking pictures, it was so funny. And then we took pictures of the two of us, which was like sweet. It was like, that was like our moment alone. We got, Brie had brought over a golf cart and took us all around the farm.
She was like, where do you guys want to go? Let's go everywhere.
Yeah, and like her and our photographer figured everything out, and which was perfect because they sat in the front and we sat in the back.
Yeah.
And they like figured out wherever we were going. We're like, take us wherever, I don't care. And we just got to sit there.
Yeah, and we basically just said, Renee, wherever you think looks good, we'll just pose.
And we just got to sit there and kind of, that was like our moment to like enjoy the day.
We weren't around anyone. It was just us.
It was just us. And then we got to eat dinner, and our friends and family did let us eat dinner. I couldn't eat. I was still too nervous. But Jason did get to eat a full plate of food.
I tried to get it in seconds. That wasn't happening.
Whatever
you do, don't try to get seconds.
And so we did get to eat. Again, that was really nice to watch everybody and see everybody in a room together. And then we cut our cake, and I shoved cake up his nose.
Yeah. I like barely hit her.
Yeah. And we didn't have an agreement not to shove cake in each other's faces. We knew that wasn't going to happen. But yeah, we shoved cake. I shoved cake up his nose. It was really funny. And then pretty much everyone kind of like trickled off, went home. Again, like I said, we lived 2 hours away. Most of our friends and family lived 2 hours away. Some people did leave a little bit early. But the last like 30 minutes, it was pretty much just us and our wedding party. And there was like a little like raised patio where we had like the speaker at. And we got up there, and me and my bridesmaids all sang like karaoke in the microphone, and the boys were like all singing off the step. And it was just such a fun, like funny little moment because it was just us. My parents were like, were starting to clean up, like put things in the bins and stuff. And no one interrupted us. We just got to be there with our best friends and sing. And that is one of my favorite memories from a wedding day, is that moment. And it's just such a tiny thing, but it was so fun. Yeah, and so then after that, we kind of all got our stuff. We all left. And my parents were nice enough as a wedding present to get us a super cute little suite.
We were exhausted.
It was like midnight, right? We had been up. Oh, I had been up since like 7 o'clock that morning.
It was such a beautiful room.
But yeah, we had this huge hotel room, and of course we're like children and like want to open all of our wedding gifts. But we're like, no, like we don't want to take everything up to the hotel room and then back down to the car the next day. Like I'm still in my wedding dress. And
we only took the cards.
We took the cards, but that was really cool. We opened and read all of the cards from our friends and family, and then we went to bed, and it was just so. And then the next morning,
we packed everything.
We got down to the car, decided we couldn't wait any longer.
Well, we kept going back and forth that morning. We were like, "Well, should we just wait till we get to town?" And we're like, "Yeah, that should probably be the best thing." And then we get to the car with all of our stuff, and we're just like, stood in the parking lot and literally opened up every present in the parking lot, in the trunk. That's how we opened our wedding presents.
Like the trash.
The trash, we just threw it all in the dumpster. But yeah, real cute way to open up presents. It was great.
Yeah. So that's the story of our wedding. Those are just a little bit of funny memories from our wedding day. So like we could reminisce with you guys. I hope that you enjoyed. Like I said, this is a bunch of wedding content all at once because it's our 2-year anniversary this week. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more fun content. And we'll see you guys in our next video.
That is true.
Bye, guys.
You didn't say bye, friends.
Bye, friends.